Hi, it's Romy. Welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. Libra, this is your August 2020 tarot card reading. My readings are general, but they might resonate for you. And if they do, I would appreciate your support with a like or a comment. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. You can also join me for the extended version of this reading. There is a link in the description box and the comment section below for that. And you might also like to check out your rising and your moon sign readings also. So let's see what August has in store, Libra. Okay, Libra, let's check out this energy story for August. So the note I was receiving when I was connecting into you was that August is set to deliver you some really interesting information about the ways in which you use your power and really helping you to become more daring in specific areas of your life. Now, Leo energy activates the 11th house, particularly for Libra rising. And this is also an Aquarius ruled house. And we have a full moon in Aquarius taking place on the 3rd of the month. So this kind of energy is really wanting you to get out there into the world. There's this sense of the way that the interactions in your life, whether that be through the social groups, through community, your friendships, the way that you're utilizing technology, and how it's helping you to grow and to really actualize yourself. But I think over and above that, there's something about this month of August, particularly with the strong influence of Mars energy, really asking, what are you fighting for? Now that Mars energy is moving through Aries, which means it's activating your 7th house of partnerships. And I think that there is going to be a really strong theme for you as Mars continues this transit through Aries, you know, in those really close relationships in your life between now and the end of the year, Libra. So we open up your reading with the King of Swords. So this does represent that element of air, either yourself, Aquarius, or Gemini. But here I'm really seeing you taking on the energy of this. You're absolutely focused. You know, there's something about this energy that's surfacing through this season that is allowing you to reprioritize and to just feel more confident about speaking up and expressing yourself, saying what you want. Displaying that kind of energy that demonstrates not only to everybody else, but also to yourself that you absolutely know what your value is. Now that full moon in Aquarius is squaring Uranus, so there's an aspect of this being really quite rebellious and revolutionary. Now the full moon is illuminating the way in which you are connecting, the way in which you are networking, but it's also asking you to be really innovative, you know, to start thinking about the future. And the King of Swords is a fantastic energy to help you to do that. It's the strategist energy, right? He's absolutely going to help to pinpoint perhaps, you know, the directions that haven't been serving you and how you can start to get back out there. You know, you've learned by experience and now you're going to apply that wisdom. Now, at times he can be slightly emotionally detached, and I think that there's that quality sometimes when we're into that Aquarius energy of just like wanting to be different, wanting to be unique, and not really kind of necessarily expressing that heart energy. But because we're in Leo season and we also have Venus moving into Cancer on the 7th, remember it had that very prolonged cycle in Gemini right back from April. So I'm still seeing for you, Libra, that this is a month where you are wearing your heart on your sleeve, you know, and Mars is the planet of passion. And so I think for some of you, even though you are taking on and embodying that energy of the king, so there's an assertiveness and a gravitas and a kind of weightiness, and it's giving you that sense of being really confident with what you have to say. I still see you being able to express those more tender, more sensitive emotions, and I think that's really important. There's a quality through this month of August with the way that Mars is moving through. You know, we have some quite powerful squares happening, firstly with Pluto on the 13th and then with Saturn on the 24th. And I really think that these are going to be some points of crisis that are going to illuminate for you perhaps some of the patterns or some of the things that, you know, you're still working on. So here we have Page of Wands, representative of a fire sign, Aries, Sagittarius or Leo. And of course, we're in a month of profound creativity, and Mars is activating that creative energy even more. We have a really unique opportunity before it turns retrograde to actually harness some fantastic kind of motivating frequencies that are going to enable you to just get so much more done. You know, we've come out of that deep water energy from Cancer season, all of the eclipses. You know, you were probably making your way through some real dense, heavy moments. And even though there's some opposing energies this month, they feel quite supportive in a way. It's almost like they're going to force you, they're going to inspire you, they're going to make you just want to break free, want to move forward, want to progress. And the Page of Wands is actually inviting you to be very open and curious, I think, as to what comes next. You know, I think what you're going to be feeling, Libra, and I'd be interested, you know, please drop a comment in terms of how this unfolds for you in the area of your life, if it does, that it's almost like there's a sense of something building, something brewing in terms of a new opportunity or a new direction, or just something that you can't quite, you know, it's not fully synthesized. It's not kind of come into your full conscious awareness, but you know that it's there. And what I'm going to say to you is that this month could also invite some really interesting, you know, synchronicity in terms of like new people showing up. And with all of this 11th house, you're really encouraged to kind of take any opportunity that comes your way. If you get invited to some kind of event, you know, if this is connected to socially or to what's going on in your work, you know, there's something about forming some really important relationships, and some of the communication that I think is going to come through for you is going to really form part of what the bigger picture is going to start to look like. And it's also a really interesting time, you know, as you step into a little bit more of that daring energy where you're a little bit more passionate, you're kind of almost just saying, you know what, I'm just gonna go for it. I'm just gonna put myself forward. I think that's gonna play out in lots of different areas. So where you've felt that you've held yourself back, or you have felt held back by, you know, any particular circumstance or, you know, relationship or situation, I feel like this month of August is really turning the tables on that for you. I think you're also seeking those support. There's something about this having strength in numbers, like not just wanting to go out and do it alone, but wanting to make sure that you are aligning, finding that soul family, you know, and perhaps either picking connections up that, you know, you haven't had the opportunity to really communicate with, or seeking a brand new source of inspiration and energy for you. So I think that's going to be showing up quite strongly as well. But remember, you know, this cardinal energy that you work with wants you to initiate, and Mars in Aries is, you know, again, kind of driving you forward. So you're going to feel almost a sense of urgency at times. And, you know, I get a sense that for some Libras, this might feel a little bit uncomfortable, like almost like you're preparing yourself, but you feel I'm not quite ready. And I think this month is just going to say it's sort of now or never. Now is the time to take the next step, because without doing that, the universe can't give you the next reveal. So here we have this card of divine wisdom, and I think it's really a reflection upon, you know, everything that has really started to make sense to you in terms of what you've been going through the last few weeks and months. And, you know, there's a sense, and perhaps if you are dealing with, you know, an air or a fire sign right now, you know, we do see that there is a connection happening here. And, you know, this Page of Wands is outstretched and making an offer. And there's a sense of sincerity that I think is coming across there. But you're also invited to make sure that you are observing what is playing out, and being much more conscious in the way that you approach it, and the way that you decide to communicate and show up, and the energy that you want to put into that situation. And I think that just taking that pause and taking a breath is going to be so important, because the other thing with this month, Libra, is that it is going to be incredibly volatile. You know, there is going to be a lot of frustration and agitation. You're going to see bouts of anger come up. As we move later into the month, as we start to come into the shadow of Mars retrograde, it will become much more passive aggressive. And so reminding yourself of those situations in the past where perhaps you have lost your cool or you've witnessed it in other people and it's been a pattern that's been repeated with specific energies, is really a time to sort of, through the month, just remember that this is about trying to approach things differently, and just taking a check on your own energy, seeing where you need to make sure that, you take a wide berth of certain people, or that you're clearing out your energy field each and every day, or that you're not allowing yourself to be triggered in the same way. And if you are, and it's, it's undoubtedly going to happen at times through this month, particularly with, the way that we're seeing things unfold, use that as a time to really be your own teacher and really realize not only how far you've come, but the ways in which you want to now change moving forward, because it's going to help you in terms of looking at these relationships and connections in your life and really establish like a new bar, in terms of the type of person that you want to have in your life, the type of friendships, the type of colleagues that you want to work with, the people who are going to inspire you. Now here we have Six of Cups, and I do think there is this moment really of reflection back to the past. You see, the way that I look at it, she's almost looking back over kind of Cancer season here. So I think for some of you, what's taken place over the last few weeks has changed you at quite a deep level. You may have experienced, some real finality, some closing or endings with that eclipse energy. And, in some ways, I still see you having the ability to it's not like you're losing yourself. Remember, we've got this King of Swords that's kind of almost being a little bit pragmatic about it. And so, of course, there's an emotional attachment to what you've experienced, and perhaps the individuals or the people who have been involved in that experience. But I also think that you are at a point right now from a soul level where you're really saying, you know what, like I understand why that happened. I might not agree with it, and I might not want to experience it again, and I might not wish it on anybody else. But there's this evolved part of me now that can come to a point where I recognize that for my own growth and evolution, like I need to allow these things to change, to move out of my life, or I need to start making different decisions and coming to new awareness about what's good for me now. And I think that this is another theme that I think is going to be really strong for you in this month, Libra, is like this new set of priorities about realizing what's good for you. And, I think that's going to particularly play out for some of you in that social way. So you might even find yourself like moving away from certain social media platforms. You might find yourself like changing groups of friends, or kind of watching as some of the relationships in your life really transform and perhaps move out, just so that you're looking to create space for new higher energies to come in. Remember what we also said about this being a month where it's important for you to be considering how you use your power. Mars can have the ability to create or to destroy. And I think there's something about the past, right, that is going to be important as you reflect upon that in different moments through this month, Libra, okay? So I think that there's probably going to be 2 or 3 instances that are going to present themselves. Now, whether this comes forth in terms of friendships or work that you're doing in the community or groups, or whether it's a relationship closer to home, and it may even be between you and you, just for those of you that are doing and working through some shadow work, some soul work. But I think there's something about the past that is going to be required. You're going to have to dip back into it and pull it into the present to make sense of something, and that is going to help you to be able to use your power more wisely in this instance, and it's going to make all the difference. Here we have the Ace of Pentacles right at the core of your reading. Beautiful energy to be working with. And it is suggesting that you're at a point where you're really ready to invest your energy into something new. And I actually feel quite excited about possible opportunities that might be coming in on the horizon. I don't think this is the month when they're fully formed, Like I said, I think you're sensing something's brewing. But if you do have a real focus on wanting some change or new directions or just expansion in terms of what you're doing within your work environment, your career, or, you know, just areas of your life where you're seeking to feel a little bit more passionate, a bit more motivated, I think that there's either going to be an idea, possibly a network connection, or something that's going to present itself through this month of August that's going to give you that wherewithal to perhaps revise and also start to get going. You know, this is a month that is going to give you that energy to actually start to put plans into motion, and that's really important. We always want to do that before the Mars retrograde comes into effect on September 9th, because when that kicks in, it can leave us feeling a little bit more directionless, and it wants to sort of take our foot off the gas a little bit, you know. So just bear that in mind, Libra. If you are working with others on any kind of project, if you're wanting to launch anything around your business, try to make sure you're doing that ahead of when Mars moves retrograde. It's still a great time to be able to review goals at that moment, so it's not negative energy, but it's definitely going to perhaps slow down the speed of some of the things that you've put into motion. Now, there is also this quality of trying to find your new balance, your new equilibrium, yeah, because July was really that pivot point through the year. And we reached a time in 2020 where, you know, everything was sort of shifting, and August is meant to be that gateway into a new chapter. It's brand new energy, and so you're still kind of finding your feet, and it's almost like there might be a slight awkwardness through this month as you kind of have a little bit of experimental trial and error to see what's working. Now, this could play out for some of you with regards to relationships, because now we're clearing out of that Mercury retrograde, Venus retrograde, and we're sort of trying to get back on track, or, you know, making decisions about what we want in terms of our relationship moving forward. But we have a whole new set of thought forms that we're working with, and of course we've changed, but so has everybody else. So it's almost like, in some ways, I think, Libra, you're going to feel like you're having to get to know people all over again a little bit through the month of August. And, you know, just remember that the backdrop and the kind of backdrop energy that you're going to be working with is a lot of this hot-headed Mars energy, where everybody wants to get going, everybody has something to say. You know, everyone's got a short fuse at times. And so it's kind of like getting to know people, wanting to bring in that balance and harmony, and be really progressive and direct the energy in the right way, which I actually think you're going to be able to do, because again, that King of Swords energy is giving you the ability to just kind of cut through anything that isn't important and just refocus everybody. So I think that's really where you're going to thrive through this month. And, you know, that's going to make a difference in all aspects of your life. You know, perhaps you just need that within your own family dynamic with your children. You know, maybe it's in those friendship or other relationships, or what you're doing in your work or business. But I think you're going to be able to cut through the things that are not important, get to the heart of the matter, and then really refocus everybody's energy to make the most of what August is delivering in terms of this inspiring energy, you know. And it is so creative. This is the thing, you know, and you can really come into your own there with being able to visually present to people where you see things are going, you know, and you notice the details. This is the thing about you. So 7 of Wands here is asking you to just make sure, again, I'm sort of nodding back into this, like using your power wisely. Now there's an eclipse energy here, so I feel like there's just something again that's not quite seen. And I just want to say, like, as you move through the month, just be prepared that you might be surprised by the reaction or the behavior of one or more connections or energies in your world, Libra. And if you're not careful, that could derail you, I feel, and absolutely cause some of that frustration and agitation energy. But remember, this is about you becoming far more conscious in the way that you approach relationships. And it's also about moving away from kind of the aspect of codependency into much more interdependence, where you realize that, you know, what we're looking for here is reciprocal energy exchange. So if someone's coming at you with behavior, with energy, with words that just kind of feel like really out of balance, like, try to again just take a moment, use that divine wisdom to really tune in with your higher self, with your energy field, and really figure out, you know, why am I receiving this energy? Where is this person coming from? What can I learn from this? How do I want to respond for the good of not only me and this person, but the collective? Because what you need to remember is that every time you have an interaction, an energy is expressed, that energy stays. Energy doesn't die. So that energy is then out in the collective. So the more able you are to come into situations from a place of balance and harmony and kindness and compassion and love, from togetherness, from unity, you're really sending out a powerful ripple effect to everybody. And if that's what you want to come back to you, then that's what you need to be keeping in mind. But the Seven of Wands is giving you that sense of courage and assertiveness. And also, again, like I said, that element of daring, because I think you need that. And I really have a sense, you know, and this is what I'm picking up for you, Libra. So again, let me know how this plays out. But I feel like it's important that you tell somebody how you feel. And perhaps you've held back because you've been uncertain about what their feelings are with regards to this. Now, that might not be romantic. You know, it could just be that you want to change the direction of something, or you want to move on from a job and you're kind of nervous to, you know, really express that. You know, it could come into play with a friendship where you feel the dynamics changed and it's important that you speak your truth. So here we have the Knight of Wands energy, and we can see that there's kind of two figures here. Now, they're at kind of slightly different elevations here as well, and there's just a reminder that, you know, each of us has a very different perspective, and you don't need everybody to get on board with what your truth is, Libra. I just need you to remember that that's okay. As long as you're in alignment with it and you're showing up and being accountable for what you're putting out, you're going to naturally draw more and more people and energies towards you that are resonant. So if you're coming up against, even perhaps older relationships or connections that you feel are really moving in a different way, I'm sure this kind of came up a little bit last month for you. There's no point in trying to hold on to that, because you have to keep moving forward. Like I said, there's that sense of urgency to start something new. Here you've got Ace of Pentacles, yeah? The thing with the Knight of Wands is it's a very positive burst of, again, motivational energy, and it's coming in with that kind of 9th house feel, yeah, because it's linked often to Sagittarius energy. So there's something about wanting to expand your world, something about wanting to learn, and I think some of you are going to be really hungry to be not only the teacher but the student this month as well. It's like, give me more information, educate me, show me. You know, I want to move forward. And perhaps there's a sense of like wanting to get ahead of yourself, because sometimes that Knight of Wands is really impulsive, right? But he can also come forward with a bit of an aggressive energy. So be mindful that that might be coming towards you, but also where perhaps there might be instances where you're jumping the gun before you're really clear on actually what the truth of something is. So here we have King of Pentacles energy. Could be an earth sign, Capricorn, Taurus or Virgo, and they're kind of facing off here a little bit. Now, interestingly, I don't really sense that this is you facing off with someone else. I kind of feel you're more stood up on the elevation here with your staff that's connected into, you know, source energy. You're drawing your wisdom, yeah, divine wisdom, from somewhere else. But here we have two individuals who are determined to kind of cause some kind of drama, and I think that that's probably something else that you just need to be mindful of through this month of August. There's the potential for a little bit of drama to be unfolding. Now, if this is the case, do you need to step in as the peacemaker, or do you need to observe what is happening and really start to work more from an energetic place rather than kind of trying to wade in and lower your vibration to join that particular situation. And I think you're going to know the right thing. Remember when I talked about you using your power wisely, you know, drawing on something from the past to help you make sense and to help you come to a new conclusion. This is where you get to demonstrate a brand new level of kind of conscious awareness. I also think though that with the King of Pentacles, you know, there's a slowness to his energy, and I think that can also be quite welcome. Because with all of this fire energy that Leo and Aries are going to be delivering, with that full moon Aquarius squaring Uranus, and Uranus is moving retrograde on the 15th as well, we need something to anchor and to ground us a little bit. But we're also going to be moving into Virgo energy toward the end of the month. So I feel like as we come into that time, you're also feeling really inspired, and I think you're ready to make a move. Now, when I say ready to make a move, I think for some of you that's going to play out, you're ready to make a move in terms of approaching somebody. So maybe that's as, you know, in a romantic way. Maybe it's because you want to approach somebody in business. Maybe you're ready to make a move literally from a location perspective, and you want to get your house on the market, or you want to, you know, put travel plans in place. You're ready to make a move in terms of putting yourself out there. So the inspiration that's coming and is forming through that ace is really going to help you put some powerful seeds into the earth. And I think that you're going to be incredibly surprised in the most beautiful way over the next 6 months as we see how this plays out for you. Now, the new moon in Leo is coming in on the 19th of the month. Beautiful energy, working strongly with Mercury. Now, Mercury moves into Leo again on the 5th, so this gives us an air of sort of dynamic expression, passion and flair, and, you know, helps us to really say what's in our hearts as well as what's on our minds. And so for you, Libra, that lovely synergy of being able to use your air energy, that kind of King of Swords, that mercurial mind, and match it with that Leo heart energy. I think that some of you are going to be finding yourselves in a wonderful position to be able to really write or to publish or to communicate exactly what you wanted to say, and be sound in the knowledge that it's coming across in exactly the right way. You know, I think through Cancer season with Mercury retrograde, you might have found that quite difficult. So let's take a look and see how these oracle cards are linking into your main reading. So we have the Chameleon Spirit, act as if. I think you are going to be changing your energy to suit a lot of different situations, because I feel you're going to be networking, connecting with a lot of different type of people through this month. But there's also something important from a visualization, from an energy perspective, as you're using your power wisely, as you're figuring out what it is that you're fighting for, that you start to come into that place that says, I need to act as if I'm already there, as if I'm already the person that I want to be, as if I'm already in the relationship that I seek, as if my business is already the success that I know it's going to be, as if my family is already in a place of harmony and contentment, as if the property I'm in is already matching all of the dreams and aspirations that I hold. Yeah, so taking on that mantra is going to be incredibly powerful for you this month. I love that dolphin energy is coming up. It's everywhere around me at the moment and coming into all my readings. And this reminder to be playful, for us to ride the waves, knowing that they come in these pods and that they don't want to be alone, that they are stronger in numbers. But, you know, also knowing that there is a little bit of volatility and a little bit of those moments of crisis as Mars squares Pluto and Saturn, but you are going to be able to jump up and over them. This is you sat atop the dolphin, so you're not getting sucked under here. You've learned too much. Remember, divine wisdom's coming here, and your chameleon is saying, do you know what? You can adapt to the situation quickly, and you can act as if you are already on the other side of it. So really beautiful energies to help you in the situations that may well be unfolding. Okay, so your astrological card is Mercury, the mind. Again, you know, just linking in, I think, to your King of Swords. You know, this is you changing your thought forms, changing the way that you think, wanting to get out there as the innovator, setting the future agenda, being the strategist, saying what's in your mind, saying what's on your heart, using your power wisely, expressing yourself in a way that is absolutely clear and people are left in no doubt with, you know, knowing where you stand, what you stand for, and, you know, what your needs are. And I think this is important. You need to be telling people how to, how they can help fulfill your needs. You know, if this is coming up in a romantic relationship, or you're a business partnership or colleague, you know, even friendships, it's, you know, you have to educate people, tell them what it is that you require in order to feel heard or seen or understood, or for you to be able to keep being your best self and bringing your best energy into that connection. Yeah. I hope this has given you some insight for the month of August, Libra. Thank you so much for connecting with me. This is a general reading, so if you'd like to join me for the extended, I'm going to go ahead and pull us some additional cards right now. And I'd invite you to just think about a question that I may not have answered and just put some focus on that now as we pull a couple more cards. You'll find the links for the extended reading in the description box and also the comment section underneath. And we speak for another 20 minutes or so with regards to that. Okay, so let's go ahead and just now pull some clarifying cards for this main reading. Okay, so King of Swords bringing through that Ace of Swords. Like I said, just getting to the heart of the matter with something, but also a nice, you know, fresh energy coming in. Now, the Three of Swords, I'm not really linking strongly to heartbreak with this energy today. I feel it's much more about clarifying something. I feel like there's information you need to clarify, Libra. And perhaps it's with a fire energy. Queen of Wands, Aries, Sagittarius, or Leo, or whoever this represents. But I think what you're looking for is the truth. You need the truth with regards to something. That's what's going to help you to move forward. Two of Pentacles. You know, I don't really feel this is about you. I think someone else is kind of dithering or uncertain or not really revealing. Yeah, the Moon. So perhaps a little bit of uncertainty or some confusion, which is why that truth energy is so important. But it will cut through. Knight of Swords. Okay, Gemini energy, or possibly Aquarius or Libra. I don't feel this is you, Libra. Seven of Swords. Remember, you have divine wisdom showing here. King of Pentacles again. Is this an earth sign? Ten of Swords. I mean, honestly, I think this is about the finality of the chapter that you've just closed, and really you allowing yourself now to walk forward with your head held high and really to start being daring about what comes next. So Five of Wands, Six of Cups. Again, that challenge, opposing energy. Two of Wands. The Wheel. Okay, Knight of Wands showing up again, so important message here. Card of Strength, which also links into the sign of Leo. But again, this is you using your courage this month. I think for those of you that, you know, are looking around your sense of emotional security or financial security, there is recovery shown here. And just coming back into harmony again, back into more of a balance. But you've learned a lot, and I think moving forward you're going to be making really different decisions and choices. Look at this Knight of Wands energy here. High Priestess. See, this is you, I feel, linking into that divine wisdom, you know, the one that's elevated in the night there as well. I just think that you're staying out of the drama, or you're being encouraged to anyway. Emperor. Again, linked into Aries energy. Death could also be a Scorpio as well here. Okay, let's pull one more. Six of Pentacles. Okay, Libra, thank you so much for joining me. I wish you bright blessings for this month. I appreciate you tuning into the channel. Make sure you drop me a like and a comment if it's resonated. And if you're joining me for the extended, I look forward to it. Take care.